Amanda Hayes walks into the office for the first time in 12 weeks, the glass doors reflecting the morning light. She settles at her desk, fingers on the keyboard, and logs into the payroll system. The dashboard loads. Her performance bonus line reads $0.
I closed the Henderson account before I left. That bonus was approved.
Without hesitating, she stands and heads straight to Edward Ralston's office. Her department director sits behind a wide desk, a practiced smile already in place.
Edward, my bonus is missing. The Henderson deal. I closed it, and the commission was confirmed.
We re-evaluated the numbers. That account was a team effort. The bonus pool was redirected to the team.
She doesn't remember walking back to her desk. The hallway blurs and her chair feels heavier than it did an hour ago. She stares at the 0 on the screen, and somewhere beneath the exhaustion, a small, stubborn part of her refuses to accept it. That afternoon, Amanda walks into Human Resources, hoping to find someone who will listen. Patricia Downing, the HR manager, sits behind a tidy desk, her expression already closed and uninviting.
Patricia, my bonus is gone. I closed the Henderson account just before my leave. The commission was approved. Bonuses are discretionary. Management has the right to reallocate funds however they decide.
The word discretionary lands like a door slamming shut in her face. She drives home in silence, the day's defeat clinging to her like a second skin in the nursery. She watches her baby sleep, exhaustion pulling at her until she can barely stand. Later, scrolling through old emails on her phone, she stops at one from 8 weeks ago. Subject: Henderson account closed. Amanda, this email confirms your $15,000 bonus, approved by management and to be paid next month.
That was my bonus. I earned it before my leave. Someone took what was mine, the Henderson account. I closed it, the final week before my leave. $500,000 in new business, and the $15,000 bonus was confirmed instantly.
The next morning, crossing the open office, she catches exchanged glances and quiet words near the break room. A snide comment about Edward's new luxury sedan and discretionary bonuses drifts into the corridor.
He bought that car with the bonus he stole from me while I was on leave.
She walks outside to the executive parking. The dark gray sedan sits in Edward's reserved spot, waxed and arrogant.
That leather interior, the upgraded rims, every inch was paid for by my closed deal.
At her desk, she pulls up the internal compensation guidelines and reads every section on bonus allocations. The policy states that commissions tied to closed accounts are not purely discretionary. They are contractual commitments.
Edward didn't just reallocate a pool. He broke our own policy. This is theft. I need the original payroll records. Someone in that department must still have the trail.
Back at her desk, she navigates to the internal compensation archive and tries to access her pre-leave records. The system flashes, access restricted. No authorization for this user. Contact administrator.
They locked me out of the entire records database. Edward must have had permissions changed.
She pushes back her chair and strides into the corridor, her mind searching for another way in. From the other end, Janet Moreau approaches, the payroll lead, quiet, meticulous, and watchful. As they pass, Janet's eyes meet Amanda's and hold for a fraction longer than a greeting. A weighted look.
That wasn't just a colleague passing by. She wanted me to notice something.
Janet has processed payroll for 18 years. She never makes an error, and she never throws anything away.
If anyone kept a record of the original bonus allocation, it would be Janet.
Amanda watches Janet disappear around the corner, a single question crystallizing. What does she know? Janet Moreau opens her email, types a single line, and hits send. Amanda reads the subject line. Break room. 2 p.m. I have something you need to see. At 2 o'clock precisely, Amanda sits in the corner of the break room. Janet slides into the chair across from her, carrying a thin folder.
I entered your bonus into the compensation system the afternoon you closed the Henderson deal. I kept the original record.
The printed sheet shows employee Amanda Hayes, bonus allocation $15,000, commission Henderson account.
She has it. The original allocation, the paper, Edward swore never existed.
That's not all. After you left, someone edited the system. I archived the change logs too.
You kept the audit trail? Janet, I need to see everything.
I will, but we need to be careful. If Edward finds out, he'll delete everything and fire me.
Amanda stares at the original record, the weight of the fight ahead settling in her chest.
The system log shows who edited your entry and when.
The change log lists a deletion of the original allocation, followed by a reassignment to department discretionary pool 3 days after Amanda started her leave. The log shows edited by E. Ralston, with timestamps.
3 days after I left. He didn't even wait a week.
I archived the logs because the sequence looked irregular. Bonuses aren't normally reversed for a closed deal. I also made a backup on a personal drive. If he tries to delete everything, this copy can't be destroyed.
She slides the USB across the table, her eyes steady. Every alteration bears Edward's access code, a trail that can't be explained as a simple reallocation.
This isn't just proof of theft. It's evidence of cover-up and retaliation.
If we move forward, he'll come after me too. But the truth needs to be on record.
The next morning, Amanda walks back to Human Resources carrying a folder thick with the printed records Janet gave her. Patricia Downing looks up sharply, her face already closing again.
I have the original bonus allocation signed before my leave, plus the change log showing who altered it. These compensation adjustments are standard management protocol. Nothing here suggests a violation. Edward deleted my bonus days after I left. He reassigned it. That's not standard. It's theft.
Through the glass panel, Amanda catches Edward in the corridor, watching them with a cold, confident stare. Patricia's silence is answer enough. Amanda realizes HR won't lift a finger to help her.
HR is protecting him. The next stop is Victor Chen. The VP needs to see how deep this goes.
She walks past the cubicles with a new urgency, heading straight toward the executive floor. At her desk, she composes a short email to Victor Chen, requesting a meeting with evidence of payroll tampering. As Amanda rounds the corner toward the break room, Edward steps out of his office, blocking her path.
You've been asking too many questions, Amanda. This little crusade of yours could cost you your career.
My career. You pocketed a bonus I earned while I was on protected leave. That's not a crusade. That's theft.
Discretionary adjustment. Push this further, and you'll find yourself out of a job and unemployable.
He walks away, leaving her in the hallway. The threat hangs in the air, but she doesn't chase after him. Minutes later, Janet finds her sitting in the break room, hands gripping a cold coffee cup.
Don't let him rattle you. You have something he can't talk away. Documented proof.
He threatened my job because he's scared of what I have. That fear is a weapon I can use.
Janet squeezes her shoulder and leaves. Amanda opens her laptop and stares at the draft email to Victor Chen. She hits send, attaching the compensation records. The request for an urgent meeting is now official. The next morning, Amanda climbs to the executive floor and knocks on the VP's door. Victor Chen waves her in, his silver hair immaculate, and gestures toward the chair opposite his desk.
Mr. Chen, thank you for meeting with me. I have evidence that my bonus was removed while I was on protected leave.
I appreciate you coming forward, but bonus allocations are management's call. What exactly are you alleging?
She places the original allocation sheet on his desk, followed by the change log with Edward's access stamp.
3 days after my leave started, Edward Ralston deleted my allocation and diverted the funds to a discretionary pool.
She turns her laptop to show the digital audit trail, the edits timed and stamped.
This is irregular. I'll need to review it with our legal team before I can take any action.
Amanda feels a cautious hope, but Victor's neutral tone keeps her from being certain.
He could be genuinely concerned, or he could be stalling. I won't know until he acts.
2 days later, Victor Chen's assistant calls Amanda back to his office. When she enters, Victor is seated behind his desk, face unreadable, hands clasped.
I've reviewed your materials. The bonus reallocation falls within management's discretion. There's no evidence of policy violation.
Discretion. He just erased 3 months of my work and called it a management call.
You've been under a lot of strain, Amanda. Returning from leave can make small things feel larger than they are.
He glances at a memo on his desk, a budget review form dated 5 days after Edward's edits.
That date, he reviewed the budget after Edward diverted my bonus. He knew, and signed off.
Victor is still talking, but Amanda no longer hears. The room shrinks to a single thought. She thanks him politely and walks out, the door clicking shut behind her.
I can't trust anyone inside this company. I need someone outside to see these records.
She finds Janet in the break room, her expression dark with the weight of what she'd just heard.
Victor called it a management decision. He implied I was being emotional.
That's a cover. I have the budget approval log showing Victor signed off on the reallocation 5 days after Edward's edit.
The digital log shows an entry. Budget adjustment approved. V. Chen with a timestamp matching the diverted funds.
He approved it. The VP himself put his name on the theft.
Janet unlocks a cabinet and pulls out a physical copy of the approval memo, signed by Victor.
I kept this because I knew the timeline was wrong. Edward deleted your bonus, and Victor authorized the reallocation afterward.
This isn't just Edward. It's a coordinated betrayal.
You need an employment attorney. Someone who can demand the company respond to this evidence.
An attorney. She's right. That's the only way to force them to look at what they've done.
That afternoon, Amanda walks into Thorne Employment Law carrying the envelope Janet gave her. Rebecca Thorne looks up from her desk, sharp eyes already assessing the weight of the meeting. Amanda lays out the original allocation, the change logs, and Victor's signed approval.
They altered your bonus while you were on protected leave and had HR and the VP stonewall you. This is textbook retaliation and wage theft. I'll represent you. We'll draft a demand letter today that forces them to answer or face a lawsuit.
She slides the retainer agreement across the desk, and Amanda signs without hesitation.
Finally, a professional who sees this for what it is. I am not crazy, and I am not alone.
Rebecca picks up the phone and dictates a demand letter to the company's legal department. The letter demands full bonus restoration with interest, Edward Ralston's termination, and a non-retaliation clause for Amanda and all witnesses.
This isn't over, but for the first time, the weight isn't only on my shoulders.
The demand letter lands on Victor Chen's desk first thing Monday morning, copied to the in-house legal team. By 9, Edward is holding it, the paper trembling as he reads the demands. He rushes to his keyboard and opens the compensation system, sweat beading on his forehead. He begins deleting log entries one by one, his breathing shallow and fast. From the hallway, Janet watches through the glass, her expression sharp and unchanged.
I archived the entire audit trail. Edward, your deletions are already mirrored on a drive you can't touch.
She holds up a USB drive, then turns and leaves his office without another word. Late that afternoon, she calls Amanda from the payroll office.
He tried to erase the logs. It's all still here. His panic just confirms the fraud.
He's digging his own grave. The evidence is stronger than his fear.
The conference room feels smaller with the company's legal team lined up across from Amanda and Rebecca. Victor pushes a one-page offer toward them. 60% of the bonus, no admission of fault, and Edward keeps his job.
Take this, and everyone moves forward. No litigation, no disruption.
Edward stole from me while I was on leave. You want me to accept 60% and let him stay?
This offer insults a woman retaliated against while on protected leave. We decline.
You are drawing a line that will hurt everyone, including your own career.
It's not a line. It's the truth. And if that requires court, then that's where we'll go.
They'll come back. They have no defense for tampering and retaliation.
The silence from the company stretches into days. Each morning, Amanda checks her phone for a response that doesn't come.
A partial win would be easier, but if Edward stays, none of this mattered. I won't let him walk away.
Desperate to save himself, Edward whispers to Patricia that Janet must have fabricated the audit trail. By noon, an internal investigation is announced, focused not on Edward's theft, but on Janet's records.
Edward claims you manipulated the compensation logs. Do you have a response?
Every entry has a digital footprint. I archived the logs as part of my regular audit duties. The timestamps speak for themselves. He's trying to bury the truth, but the logs don't lie.
They're trying to make you the scapegoat. I never meant for this to happen.
Don't worry about me. I've been doing this job honestly for 18 years. They'll find the truth.
That evening, Amanda holds her baby and wonders if her fight is costing Janet her career. But the investigation produces no evidence against Janet. Her records are immaculate.
They couldn't break her. The truth is still standing.
The investigation clears Janet without a mark. Victor knows the legal ground under Edward is crumbling. He slides a new offer across the table. The full $15,000 plus interest with a confidentiality clause. But Edward stays.
We're prepared to make you whole financially. Edward will face internal retraining. Everyone gets to move on.
Move on. He stole from me and tried to bury the evidence. Retraining isn't justice.
This is a bribe to protect a manager who committed fraud. We won't sign a deal that leaves him in power.
If you reject this, litigation gets ugly. You risk your career, your reputation, and likely years in court.
I already lost my bonus while I was on leave. I won't trade my self-respect for a check. Remove Edward, or we see you in court.
We'll file a complaint alleging retaliation and wage theft. The evidence is public ready.
Victor stares at the papers, his hand frozen. The room waits. Then Amanda pushes back her chair and stands.
No more bargaining. This ends with him gone, or it doesn't end.
You have solid evidence of tampering, retaliation, and wage theft. This is a case they can't win. I'll give them 48 hours to accept full terms, or we file suit and go public with everything.
That evening, Amanda's phone buzzes with the news. The ultimatum was sent and the deadline is ticking. Inside the executive conference room, Victor and the legal team huddle in an emergency session, tension thick in the air.
They have us. Accept the terms. Terminate Edward. Give her the full amount with interest and protect Janet.
The settlement document is drawn up. Full bonus plus interest, Edward's termination, and a non-retaliation clause for all witnesses. Edward's termination is drafted and signed, a final line under his name. Amanda receives the news through Rebecca. Her hand grips the phone, knuckles white, and then she exhales.
It's over. He's gone. The bonus is restored.
Janet's new nameplate appears on her desk. Payroll manager. She is formally protected and promoted. Edward is called into human resources. The summons arrives without explanation, but he knows what's coming. Patricia places the termination notice on her desk. His hand shakes as he reads the final line. He signs. No protest, no bargaining, just the scratch of a pen against silence. Outside, 2 security guards wait. Edward steps out carrying a cardboard box of personal items. The corridor falls silent as he is escorted past cubicles and open-mouthed colleagues. His office door is shut. The nameplate slides off. In minutes, it's as if he was never there. Amanda stays seated at her desk. She doesn't gloat. She just watches.
He's gone. The bonus is coming. It's finally over.
A bank alert lights up her phone. $15,000 plus interest. Deposited. Around her, the office murmurs. She meets no one's eyes, but her own are clear. The office is fractured. A few coworkers murmur quiet congratulations as she passes. Others turn away. At her desk, a single "good for you" lands from the neighboring cubicle. Amanda only nods.
Approval doesn't matter. The truth is on paper, and it's mine.
In the payroll department, Janet's new nameplate is affixed to her desk. payroll manager. She receives the congratulations with her usual calm, but her eyes search for Amanda across the room.
You earned that promotion long before any of this started, Janet.
All I did was keep the records clean. You were the one who refused to let them go.
They allow themselves a quiet laugh, the first easy one in weeks.
He's gone. The bonus is mine. And she's finally where she belongs.
The afternoon light catches her gold studs as she settles back into her chair. The office is different now, and so is she. A young woman from marketing hesitates at Amanda's cubicle, one hand resting on her barely visible belly. She whispers a question about maternity leave rights, her voice low and anxious.
You are entitled to your full bonus if you close deals before leave. Don't let anyone tell you it's discretionary if it's tied to commission, and keep your own records. Every email, every confirmation. If something happens, you'll need them.
The young woman thanks her quietly and walks away, visibly relieved. Amanda watches her go.
I just gave her exactly the advice I needed 3 months ago. That's something.
Word spreads quietly through the office. Amanda Hayes is the person to ask about leave rights. She didn't plan to become an advocate, but when others started coming to her, she didn't turn them away.
If my fight makes it easier for the next person, then it was worth more than the bonus.
Amanda stays at the company, but on her terms. She becomes the quiet source of truth new parents come to for advice. Months later, Amanda sits on the living room floor, her toddler wobbling toward a toy. The afternoon light is warm and unhurried.
Almost let them take it, she thinks. Almost believed I had no ground to stand on. Janet's quiet courage was the pivot, the moment the floor stopped tilting.
She watches her child grab the toy and laugh, and she feels a steadiness she didn't have before.
I am not just surviving anymore. I am here fully, with something to protect.
The bonus was important, but the lesson became her foundation.
Gratitude doesn't mean forgetting. It means knowing you are still standing, because someone stood with you.
By the window, she looks out at the ordinary street and feels no need for revenge or applause. Tomorrow, Janet will meet her for coffee, and they'll laugh about something small, because they can. Amanda Hayes walked back into her own life, faced down the theft, and took back what was hers. That's the story. Amanda and Janet sit at an outdoor table, coffee cups between them, the morning sun warm. Janet laughs at something Amanda says, the sound easy and unforced.
Remember when you handed me that USB and told me not to let him rattle me?
I remember thinking, this woman is about to burn the building down, and I had the matches.
They both laugh, the kind that comes after a battle you didn't know you could win.
She kept the receipts, and I kept the nerve. That was enough.
The coffee cools, but neither moves to leave. Two women who fought a quiet war and came out standing. The camera pulls back, the city noise softening around them. Sometimes the only justice is the kind you build with someone who refused to look away.